questions, yeah, I'm hitting every angle. Spill your heart out like you talking to an angel. Trying to spark something new. I got something for you. Is you fucking with me? Tell me all of the things that you want the whole world to know. Tell me all your ideas. Let go all of your fears. Kick your feet up and get comfortable. Tune in my way. Don't fuck with me Friday. Yeah. Is you fucking with me?
Hello, guys. It's your girl Angel, the Hood Woman of God, and you're tuned in for another episode of the Fuck Me Fridays, the Laugh Podcast, where you know I interview dope individuals who are big in their faith, unique in their craft, creative, and knocking down barriers every day, and they're forced to be reckoned with. Did I skip that? So today I have the pleasure of interviewing the world renowned, y'all. I call her the world renowned because, baby, she is global. She's making a huge impact in the community, in United States, and over the seas, okay? And so it's just a pleasure to have her on board. Her name is Makeda Smith, owner of Savvy Chicks. She's a realtor, she's a broker, she's an author, she's a speaker. She's just phenomenal. So it's just an honor to have her on. So I'm going to bring her to the stage. So you guys clap it up. Yeah. Let me see.
There I am.
Hi. How you doing? I'm good. How are you?
I am good, Angel.
It is so great to have you on, like, well overdue.
Yeah. I know we've been trying to do it for a while.
Yes, we have, but it finally came together, so I'm just so happy about that. I want to give you the opportunity to go ahead and introduce yourself for those who do not know you.
Okay, so I am Makeda Smith. I am the CEO and founder of Savvy Chicks in Real Estate, which is a global real estate network. We help real estate agents, brokers, and investors to travel, sell, and invest all over the world. There's no limits.
So y'all heard it. It's no limit, okay? I love that. So how long have you been doing international?
So I've been doing international real estate for the last 3 years. However, I've been a real estate broker here in the state of Illinois for the last 21 years. And so international the last 3 years.
Awesome. That's great. So it's so crazy or so funny because when I first, got out of high school and kicked off, my career or whatever I was going to do, I actually took real estate classes, and shame on me, I never actually finished. I actually got to the end. I was tardy for my last class when we supposed to sit for like the practice test. Okay. And the substitute teacher wouldn't let me take it. So I just was like, okay, whatever. I left and never went back. And so I just really was like, that's on me. That's not on them. But I really wish that I had done that because I feel like real estate and investment is never going anywhere. And I feel like you could do a lot of things with that license, such as yourself. You were here in Illinois and now you're global. From that one license.
Yeah. And so for me, it all started, like you said, with that one license. It started with one deal. I hear a lot of people say all the time, like, okay, if I get involved in real estate, like, how am I ever going to be successful? Well, all of your successful real estate agents, they started with one deal. And I was just looking at something on Facebook the other day with this realtor who now has lots of properties that they closed. They were like, why telling the consumer, like, why work with someone who is brand new to the real estate market, work with someone who knows real estate in this season. And I was like, oh, that's, that was kind of sticky because what about when somebody gave him his first chance at real estate? And so just like you talked about, like with that class and which that you had stuck with it, it is so many people in the real estate business that did not pass on their first try. They did not continue with the class on and pass the class on their first try, but they went back over and over again until they got it. And I'm always of the mindset that it doesn't matter if you are going for something and you fail at it, just and give yourself the option, because people would think, okay, I keep going for it and I keep hitting the wall. It may be a reason why you're hitting that brick wall that you need to get back up and try at it again. But some people will just hit the brick wall and say, okay, I hit the brick wall. It must mean this is not for me.
Yeah, they don't know. They might be blocking their blessings because sometimes it's delayed and not denied. You know, sometimes God is blocking you from maybe passing that test because it's not your time.
Right.
And I can actually contest to that because I am a registered nurse now, but it took me a few times to take that test. That's not an easy test.
Right.
And I felt like, you know, at the time, my mind, you know, I had a lot of different things going on. And so my mind wasn't set. But once I sat down and I buckled, like, I'm passing this test. I'm not about to play no games. Like, I even made a live video, like, this how you walk to the car to go take the test. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was confident in myself that last go around. And I was like, I really gave it that extra push, that extra study, that extra time that I needed. And sometimes, you know, I felt like had God allowed that blessing to come at that time, I probably would have lost my license that night because I wasn't focused. You know what I'm saying? Gave somebody the wrong medication or anything. You know, it's just, it wasn't my time. So I feel like with you just saying that to anybody out here listening, keep going. If it get hard, if you don't pass the first time around, keep going. What's for you is for you, and it will definitely come to pass. Okay?
Yes,
come to pass.
I agree. Yep, it sure will. I remember even in this international real estate piece and like bumping my head against a brick wall, but not giving up on the international piece, but just collecting myself, sitting still, hearing from God and seeing what direction he wanted me to go in, who I should be aligned with, and just taking my time instead of like speeding through it. But it was a reason that he had me to speed through international real estate and taking people abroad, because we were able to cover, I think now, like 7 countries that we have already went to in the last 2 years. And people have said to me, like, I had never seen somebody come back to Africa so frequently as much as you have in such a short period of time. But it's not me doing it. It is, you know, what the Lord has ordained and what he has allowed to happen. But people will see what I'm doing, but I don't want them to just see what Makeda is doing, but see what the God in Makeda and around Makeda is doing with the people that are coming on these trips. And that's the reason why I have an event coming up next Saturday in Chicago on March 8th, and it's International Women's Day. And I was like, okay, we got to do something. And it was so good, Angel, that it fell on Saturday. I said, you got to have an event on a Saturday. So It fell on Saturday. And now we're going to be having an event just showcasing different women doing different things, making history, because, you know, we're coming off of Black History, but we're going right into Women's History Month. And so I'm like, with Women's History Month, like, we are already making history ourselves as women, and especially Black women. And I have them coming to speak about how they are international investors, international real estate developers that are developing projects and communities and affordable housing projects. So I can't wait to highlight these women who are doing some amazing things and making history on their own.
That is so awesome. Like I said, this podcast is all about shining the light on people who are making an impact, you know, and that's so impactful because a lot of times the things that we do in United States, such as like the real estate and development and affordable housing, you think that's something that you're only able to conquer here in the United States. But to see you doing it and then bringing other sassy chicks, sassy women along, Black women, educated women, it's just remarkable to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you thought 10 years from now that we would be here, like you never would have thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just amazing to, you know, be in a time to witness this with my own eyes. And I
Yeah.
just take my hats off to you for what you're doing. Like, it's amazing.
Well, thank you, girl. You just had me think back to, wait a minute, you know what? I got my real estate license in 2004. I would have never, ever guessed that I would have been international, selling properties in Ghana and Nigeria and the Dominican Republic, and just brought on a new developer in Kenya. And all I see is God going to continue to add to the territory. But in that parking lot in Chicago, getting my license and saying that I, passed that exam, I would have never thought 21 years later that I would have been global. And then not only just global myself, but leading other women to take, global real estate to another level themselves. And even those that think that they could not do it, they know now that they can do it because we created the platform and the pathway for them to be able to do it.
Yes, I loved it. And I'm so happy that your event falls not only on a Saturday, but Women National History Day. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just kind of like fell right on time, like right in the play. Like, again, I feel like when you put God ahead of your life and let him order your steps, like had a song say, he's going to blow your mind. Like, things you never even thought or could imagine, so kudos to you.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. I love the fact that, when I talk to women, they're like, you know what, none of this would have been possible if you did not open up the door or let me think that I can possibly do this. And people are like, well, whatever you need, let me know, because you're not in it, by yourself or alone. And so along the way, it's not just something that I've done. I actually built a community around this whole thing.
It's like so many other people blessing was attached to your obedience.
Mm-hmm.
What if you was like, I can't do that. I'm only gonna be in Illinois. I'm only gonna be on this side of the town. Like, your obedience opened the door for so many other people's blessings. And I think people don't understand how that works. It's like a chain reaction, or like the domino effect. Like, one domino fell, then now we global.
Right, exactly. And with a lot of people.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so much so too, Angel, a lot of people don't know this. I've been able to not only bring real estate agents along with me to help them to sell global real estate, but I've been able to introduce the opportunities to people who do not have a real estate license here in the United States, because in a lot of countries, you don't have to have a license in order to sell international real estate. And I tell people that, it's good for you to get in now, because you don't know when those laws are going to change in countries, because as people continue to go to Africa, like some of them nations are going to be like, you know what, we get ready to enforce these laws on the book. No one can sell real estate in our countries except if you have a license here or if you are a citizen in that country. But right now, that is not the rule for all countries. And we have an opportunity to be able to help people to buy real estate around the world. Another country that I'm looking at is going to Thailand and Japan, because people are always talking about the real estate market there. And I'm very, very interested in getting to Thailand in 2025.
Well, I wish you the best for that. I feel like it's already out there. God hear it, so God gonna open those doors for you. And I just can't wait. I just want to be a little passenger on the airplane. Like, I'm just going for the trip, I'm just going for the ride, seeing what I can learn, because nowadays you gotta have several streams of income. So and even being a nurse, and I could dibble and dabble in other things, you can't think small about it. You know what I'm saying? You always got to think ahead. So I might just be a passenger on the plane. Then next thing you know, I'm a real estate broker now.
But you know what, Angel? A lot of people that are nurses are in real estate too.
I believe it.
Yeah, we have a lot of real estate agents that, they are in nursing and they're in the medical field. I have one person, she's not a nurse, I forget what she is, but she administers anesthesia. So I don't know what. Okay, Is it something
She's
that's
a nurse. She's probably a nurse anesthetist. Like she administered anesthesia and put you to sleep and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. So even looking and seeing like, you know, the different things of how there's my cousin. She is getting her nurse's license in I think Mississippi. But she was like, you know, what do the nurses' jobs look like in Ghana? And I said, well, they don't pay that as much as what they're paying in the US. But what you should really be looking at is like, how can you have maybe some type of clinic, you know, in that country rather than trying to go and work as a nurse, because you can be of more value having the actual clinic for people to be able to come to for those that are sick. And so she never thought about that, but she was, you know, said, okay, I'm gonna put that on my list. And I told her, you know, you may want to open up a pharmacist, because there's a lot of development that's happening and people are looking at opening up grocery stores, but they're also opening up pharmacies. And, you know, when I went to Dubai, my husband and I, we were staying at a Airbnb, and downstairs was a pharmacist. We would go in a pharmacist, and you don't have to be a doctor in Dubai in order to administer medicine. And so we were able to go to tell the pharmacist our symptoms, and they were prescribing us medicine.
You know, the United States is so different. I hear all the time when people go out over to different countries and everything, it's just so different. It's just like we so constricted over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard people went to Dubai to visit and now they live there. Like, no, baby, take me back. So I haven't been to yet, but I cannot wait to go.
Yeah, Dubai had their restrictions, but once you learn what countries, what their restrictions are, you kind of like play by those rules, live inside those laws. And that's why I always say to people too, make sure you know what the laws are before you even go to these countries, so that when you do go, you're not breaking them.
Exactly, because you remember what happened to the basketball.
Yeah, right.
Where did she go? Where was she at again?
I don't know if it was Korea, North Korea. I think it was North Korea. I'm not 100% positive, girl.
But look, she ain't know them laws. She was over there.
Right.
And it's not funny at all, but it's serious.
Yeah.
It's serious. Some things that we think is real lenient here is a straight law there that they not about to play with you about.
Right.
And then vice versa, you know?
Yeah.
You definitely got to learn those laws. Okay, so, well, thank you for all that information. We want to jump right into the questions. So, my first question for you is, what makes you big in your faith, or what made you big in your faith to step out to create Savvy Chicks, or to step out and start taking over international global real estate investment?
I would say that it all had to grow on me because growing up, I went to Catholic school. I wasn't a Catholic, but I went to Catholic school anyway because my mom and my dad wanted us to be in private school. But it wasn't until we went to church, which was my mom and had woke me up one Sunday morning with all of the siblings and was like, okay, we're going to church. We're like, where are we going? And we went to the south side of Chicago, girl, to one of the storefront churches. One of the storefront churches, the Church of God in Christ. And my great aunt, who was my mom's aunt, was the pastor. And girl, she's from Mississippi. So she didn't cut no corners and play no games. And so that's really when my faith was nurtured and like I learned the word of God. But even being able, I always say to people that the person you see now was because I was in training camp at the Church of God in Christ growing up as a teenager. And from there, I was able to gain my faith. But it wasn't until I just began to do what the Lord commanded me to do that my faith increased. And even in this last year, Angel, it was very hard for me, especially being international and having all of these things hitting me at one time, to where I'm like, wait a minute, the imposter syndrome is sitting in, because who is this girl that got the audacity to be going to all these countries, taking all these people, saying you selling real estate in all these different countries? I was even talking to my assistant today, Angel, and she was like, Makeda, I'm not gonna lie. She was like, this is big. She was like, I'm trying to wrap my head around everything that you're doing. She said, I have to give you kudos, say hats off, much respect to you, to see you. I said, girl, it's wearing me out. That's why you're here, because it's wearing me out. But for me, it's just being obedient, because when you're not obedient, you will basically get your tail whooped.
That's good right there. Because I just came from Cabo, and one of the ladies on the trip, she specifically said that she like, do not be disobedient to God. If he telling you something and you being disobedient to him, she used those exact words. She was like, he is gonna spank you. He gonna spank you, and he gonna spank you hard. So I'm glad you were obedient.
Because what does the Bible say? That when you know better, you get beat with a many stripes, and when you don't know better, you get beat with a few, but you still getting beat.
Yeah. So with that being said, let me ask you this specific question. Going from local to global with international real estate, like, how was that? Because I know you just said that one of the young ladies with you said, like, this is big, and this is big. You know, some people don't even get to travel international or visit those different countries, let alone investing in development and real estate. So how was that for you?
So for me, going from local to global, because I had been in real estate for 18 years before going global, I was able to take the experience that I had here in Illinois and in the US, and then take that work ethic, because, you know, with real estate here, we're licensed, we have to take continuing education, we have to take ethics training, we have to make sure we're doing everything above and beyond board, so that we don't get in trouble and lose our license. And so I take that same experience international with me, that even though there is no license required, I'm still, you know, bound by what I've learned over the last 18 years, just having all of that continuing education, from sexual harassment, the education on being able to act ethically. And then when you're working with people, how to work with the consumer, how to make sure you're being transparent and, you know, not doing things behind people back, and you kind of like letting people know up front. I just take everything that I learned local, I applied it to global, and then poured global on top of it, because selling in Ghana, that's a different law. Selling in Dubai is a different law. Dominican Republic is a different law. And for me, I had kind of like lost my passion with real estate in the United States. But when I went global, I picked that thing right back up. I was passionate about it because I was learning something new. I'm not a type of person that can just sit and do the same thing over and over and over again. I have to learn something new and do something new. And that's exactly what all the international real estate is for me. It's relearning all over again.
So let me ask you this. What do you think, or what do you know, what made you lose your passion, would you say?
I was burnt out. I was burnt out. And the reason why I was burnt out, so I put it like this: as an entrepreneur, you're always looking to see how you can sell maybe one product as a one person to many people at one time. So my mindset was like, okay, how can I sell real estate to multiple homes, to multiple people, and it's just one me? And I had maybe a few clients. So Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Chase, Bank of America, those were my clients that I worked with, and they had a lot of listings. And so I would sell their properties. But at the same time, Angel, people don't tell you, when you are selling properties like that at a high level, and it's not just any properties, they're bank-owned properties. So you're dealing with fires, you're dealing with pit bulls in the yard, you're dealing with tenants, you're dealing with evictions, you're dealing with water. And are we good?
I don't know what I just did. Let me go back. There we go.
So you're dealing with not only fires and water damage, busted pipes when it's freezing. So for me, it all began to take a toll on me. And I was selling like 40, 50 houses per year. I was selling so many houses that I had to bring my husband. That's when he got his license in 2008, because I was like, I can't do it all. So I think together we sold like 200 houses in 1 year. I don't know if it happened in 09 or 10, but we both consistently made 100. That was our first time making 100K, like, each. And so for me, that burned me out, girl. That type of real estate, that burnt me out. And I didn't really have a passion for it anymore because I was just burnt out. So when international real estate was introduced to me, because I had basically just started training agents on how to like build their brand, because people tell me all the time how much they love my brand. So I'm like, okay, let me help other agents to do the same thing. Started doing social media, helping people with that, became great at marketing, and was making a pretty good living, but I fell into international real estate. And now I switched to helping the agents to build an international real estate brand. And then also now helping investors to invest in international territories. But now we're also hosting retreats and taking people out of the country with us. So this year, in April, I'll be in Ghana because I'll be a speaker at somebody else's conference, one I don't have to host. And then in June, I have my own conference, which is going to be in Zanzibar this year. And then after that, I'm going to be in Ghana again because somebody else booked me to be a speaker and to host a real estate tour. And then from there, we're going to go to Nigeria in October. From there, we're going to be in Kenya in December. And I'm just glad that I'm only hosting one of those events.
Right. So, baby, I just got to pull up, say a few little words, motivate you guys, and then I'm gone. Because I know it's a lot of work putting together events. And, with you doing them like internationally here, there, I know that could be a lot. That could be a lot. So, I know your story. I've heard you speaking on different platforms. Not only that, I've been to different conferences that you've been at speaking, and it's just been an honor to hear your story. How do you mind if I go into that a little bit about how you got over, having COVID, how your life, just changed right before your eyes, and then God brought you from that. So I understand. I know the struggle. Like, I'm kind of struggling trying to put my event together. So I know it's a lot of work going behind that. But to have people booking you all over the world, I know that that's a great feeling, because I know it's like you got to know you're doing something right. Because people don't want just anybody, speaking at their conference, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's huge. I do want to let you know, I'm not sure if you know, but every few minutes, your video goes out and come back in. Do you know that?
No. Is that okay? Let me, I'm going to switch over to my hotspot because I don't know why it's doing that.
I was like, I wonder if she know. Let me tell her. I mean, and it's not interrupting me, but I know, like, I don't want you like to be sharing it, and then when you share it, it's like, oh my goodness, she ain't even saying nothing. But that's dope. That's super dope, and I cannot wait to hear all about it. I'm so bummed because I can't come to your event on Saturday. I'm leaving to go to a cruise, but when we get done with the questions, I definitely want you to give like full detail of where it's located, if you still have tickets available, the time and everything, because I think people really need to come and learn about that. Because again, a lot of people think that when they see other people do things, like they can't do it, and it's like, if you don't know how to do it, but if you don't even have the information to do it, of course you can't. But if you learn it from somebody who's doing it, who's trained others to do it, it may be something that you could do. So yeah.
No, that's true. How is it now? It's good?
It's good. If you do it again, I'll let you know.
Okay. But it's the event is going to be on March 8th. We have 9 tickets left because it's only going to be an intimate event for 40 people. We're having it at a coffee shop in Bronzeville, Black-owned coffee shop in Bronzeville. So I'm excited about that. But and the tickets are only $35. People were already like, what do you tap these tickets? How much are these tickets? But it's only $35. And you get to patronize the coffee shop while you're there. But it's nice to be able to have something at a Black-owned store on the south side of Chicago and be able to support that business at the same time, be able to highlight these women.
Exactly. That's dope. Okay, so my next question, it just did it again, but we're going to keep it moving.
Okay.
My next question is, what makes you a force to be reckoned with?
I don't want to necessarily say that I'm a force to be reckoned with, but I know that the God that I serve is a force to be reckoned with. And so what makes him a force to be reckoned with has just been his resume. And especially I was looking at Psalms 91 this weekend. I was teaching from that at another virtual speaking event. And I was telling them how, the devil will try to trick you out of knowing who you are and whose you are. By playing mind games with you and saying, well, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? And like, you are the son and you are the daughter of the Most High God. Like, what is his track record, and who arms are long enough to box with God? And so I would say that he is one to be reckoned with. But Psalms 91, when it talks about how the arrows will fly by day and night, but they will not harm you. When it talks about 1,000 people falling on your side and then 10,000 on your right side, but you, because of who you are, and the Father who can reckon with him, like you're covered. He said no harm will come nigh your dwelling. And so I just keep taking that into consideration, that Makeda, no matter what it is that you're going up against, know that God has you covered. And just the same way the devil uses people, honey, God uses people.
Mm-hmm. He definitely do. He using me. Thank you, Lord. And he's definitely using you. A lot of people out here, they say they're a boss and they doing this, but I feel like you're not a boss until you create another boss. And with your track record, you done created hundreds of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just phenomenal. So, okay, then she said, baby, I ain't a force. My daddy's a force. Okay. Stop playing with me. He just brushed me off a little something. I'm just doing what he say. So that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he definitely is a force. And you have to have him in your life and have that relationship with him so he can be that force in your life. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have to lean on him and push into him, because when you do that, like, I think that's where that force come in, where he's pushing you. You know what I'm saying? And he's pushing you in the direction that he wants you to go in.
Yeah.
So my next question is, what makes you unique, or what makes what you're doing unique?
I think what makes it unique per se is that I know that there are other people who God has called to do great things. He's chosen them to do great things, just like when he picked David from his siblings. He picked Joseph from his siblings. He called Abraham out of his country. I know that even though there are other women and men out here selling international real estate, no one has the footprint that God has given me. And no one has the calling that God has given me to be able to do it in the way that I'm doing it. The things that he's downloaded to me. There are things that I see that people are using what I'm doing now as a blueprint for what they want to do. And so I know that is new and unique, just because people are like, wait a minute. You know what? That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. I had an agent call me like 2 weeks ago, and she was like, I was looking at your page and I was like, okay, that's it. That's what I want to be. But I always caution people to say that don't look to be like me. Look to be like how God would have for you. You may want to do some of the same things, but don't ever lose yourself in your mentor or in your the person that you may see as like a leader, don't lose your identity in them. Make sure you maintain your own identity in God, so that even if you step in that place, that you know that what I'm going through has come with a certain anointing. It has come with a certain sacrifice. And a lot of times people don't know behind the scenes what I had to go through in order to be able to sit in this seat today and to be even able to talk to you, Angel, because I could have lost my mind. But you know what? God brought me out of that. I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you today. But, you know, I just think that he has uniquely, divinely placed me in this day and age for this exact season and reason, for the people that I'm called to now. I had somebody tell me, you know, she said, I'm glad and honored to be living at the same time of a Makeda Smith. I said, what kind of words is that, girl? You what? Say it again. What you say? And the reason why is because I never heard anybody talk about like what they see me doing in the way of history. Because can you imagine being alive at the same time Moses was alive, at the same time Joshua was alive? So like at the same time for me, as Martin Luther King was alive, like can you imagine being alive at that time? And so I don't put myself in the categories of like those people, but I know a leader and a global leader. But when she said that, it just had me think about, wait a minute, Makeda, like this is like, don't take it lightly what God is doing through you. And so that's very important. And for anybody that's on here listening, don't take lightly what God is doing through you, that other people may see you and the works that you're doing, but they're glorifying your God in heaven because they recognize the oil that is on your life.
Yes, I love it. Yes. And whoever that lady was, tell her I feel exactly what she's saying. Okay. Like you're making history. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to put you in history books because you don't have a lot of people doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand fully what she means. It's kind of like what I said in the beginning when I was like, I'm just glad I'm able here to witness it. You know what I'm saying? Witness it in real life time, the impact, the influence, the motivation, the push, the force that you are bringing into international real estate. You know what I'm saying? International investment. So it's just an honor to watch. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an honor to, you know, we try not to name drop, but you know, it's an honor to be like, oh, I know her. Like you talk about Makeda Smith, like I know her. Like so I feel exactly what she's saying. That's so dope. So my next question is what makes you or what you're doing, what makes it creative?
What makes it creative? I just think because of the downloads that I'm always constantly getting from the Lord, from heaven, from, you know, the Holy Spirit. I'm always constantly getting downloads. I was talking to my assistant in that same conversation today, and she was like, well, Makeda, what type of marketing content should I create for the month of March? I said, girl, give me to this weekend. I said, I'm sitting still and I'm hearing from God of what type of marketing content, because it's even as deep, Angel, as what type of marketing content will I create in order to be able to put out on social media. So sometimes like in my head, I have an idea of like these magazine covers for the women and men that are inside of my membership program to selling international real estate. But behind our heads is the word that says global, but it's on like a magazine cover that's in Canva. And then we all put our declarations of what it is that we're contributing to history. And so for me, that's what makes it creative, is that I'm always constantly getting downloads from God on how to do it, what to do, and just, you know, my marketing strategy. It's a download.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this. What are some, because while you're talking about the downloads, what are some of the important things people should know about taking their brand global and being international? Like, what's some of the downloads that you have got?
So one is knowing the culture, that even though you born in these great United States, is that the culture abroad is not
I
the
don't know
same.
about great.
And these, girl, listen, we hear these great United States because the majority was still of we're not gonna get us in politics, but the majority of those that care about, you know, other people, that will always rule. And then the way that God would bring it about is just the way that He gonna bring it about. But the majority of those that care about humanity and care about people, it will always overrule. But for those that are looking to take their brand global, it's the culture. And so even though we live here in the United States, we can't go abroad boastful. We can't go be like, oh, I'm from the United States of America. Like, we can't go over there thinking that like we're all of that, and that we're even bringing what the country needs. Like, I have everything the country. I'm from America. I have everything what the country needs, including the nations of Africa. And it's going over so you can be a co-collaborator with your skill and then their skills, and how can you bridge that gap to really build something together. And then, like, even from me learning and going to Dubai and learning how that culture is, I remember going over the very first time and people telling me, oh, you're going to have to cover up, you're going to have to put this over your head, your arms can't be out, legs can't be out. And that wasn't true for the most part. Now, in areas where it is a mosque, like, they do expect for you to be covered. But in the mall outside, people had on shorts, tank tops, and, you know, at the beach, they got on bikinis. On the yacht, they got on bikinis. And so those are the parts of stories that you really don't typically hear. The other thing that I would say, as it relates to going global outside of the culture, is learning who not to do business with. Like, who not to do business with, because you have people, for an example, there's this one company over in Dubai that builds a whole bunch of homes. If you were to land in Dubai, you'll see their name on a lot of buildings. So you'll think that that person or that company has a great reputation in the country, and it's not so. I've been there and people have said, oh, stay away from this brand because they don't have a great reputation of delivering properties on time. And it has been consistently long periods of time. Stay away from this brand because they have a poor quality, and the owner of the company ran away with $400 million of people's money that they invested into this property. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I stay. So this is also a reason why when people ask me, well, how come you're not working with this person? And when I see these agents so happy to sell international real estate, but then they align their brands with any and every developer out there, you don't know that developer. And just because that person reached out to you and say, hey, they want you to sell their property in Ghana, but then they got a staircase in the middle of the living room, and you didn't put it on your internet saying, hey, buy this $90,000 property. Yeah, it was cheap, but it was cheap for a reason. Why you laughing?
Because they'll do it, baby. They'll do it. They'll do it. So I like that. No, go ahead and finish.
No, I mean, I can go on, you know, but it's just really diving. I can go on diving into the things that I have learned about business, of what to do and what not to do. I also know that there's times when God will align me with certain people and certain brands, and then there's time to where, okay, it's time for me to cut away and to do my own thing. And it's just that even going through, like, when you build relationships with people and you build relationships with business and they're like genuine relationships, sometimes when God tells you to cut that umbilical cord, like, you mourning, you in mourning, like it hurts.
Oh
but
it's
so not easy.
It's
not easy. People think that it's easy because they see what's going on the outside, but internally people have no idea. And so I just regardless of my mistakes that I have made in my life, I just let the Holy Spirit speaks for me. Let the Lord speak for me, because the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. They are still falling on me, regardless of, like, my prayers always, God, thank you for looking beyond my faults and seeing my needs. And so my needs are still being met because he looked beyond my faults, because I'm not a perfect person. And if we all were perfect people, it would have been no reason to send a son.
Oh, yes, yes. Woo, you on fire tonight, girl. We getting the real estate, a Bible study. We getting it all in one, baby. Let's go. That is true. And when you are new into anything, when you get a new job or even in the field that you're in, when you have people wanting to work with you, you're excited. And sometimes you don't know that they corrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Corrupt. How does that? You know the Bible verse. I can't even think
about
of it.
Bad company, bad character. That one. Okay,
yes.
I know where you're going. I don't know the exact thing, but I know where you're going.
Yes, and so you have to, be wise, because sometimes you just you be so excited that you're getting that opportunity and you fall in with the bad apples, and now you got a bad name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's something very wise to know about who you're dealing with. Do your research, because even back in the day, when a lot of the young artists was getting record deals and things of that nature, they had all them corrupt people getting their money, stealing their money. We paid thousands of dollars to watch them on concerts and different things of that nature. And their company done stole all their money, their manager. So you really want to make sure you dealing with people who have not only your best interest in mind, but sometimes, their best interest, because some people, they don't even care about themselves. Or the names that they bring. And like you just said, the man done ran off for $400,000. Like, he don't care.
Million, girl. 400 million.
Million. Like, he don't even care about his own reputation, because baby, ain't no money worth, killing nobody for. But you talking to a street nigga, that's bound for, like, you know what I'm saying, off with his head. So you just have to be careful about who you're dealing with and what circle you're surrounding yourself with. So I think that's a very, very something you should know. And I think that's something that you should know in general, like not even doing international or investing, like even, teaching your kids, they're in the age now, especially with their young, because I have young kids, they in the age where they want to be everybody's friend. They want to do this with everybody, like, but hold on, like, what's they upbringing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when I was growing up, I couldn't spend a night on people's house. My grandma, she ain't play none of that. But nowadays, people just let their kids go over, do this. You gotta be making sure what's going on in your surroundings, and not only for yourself, but for your children as well. So I think that's very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, what barriers did you have to knock down to get your business and Savvy Chicks and like your whole brand where it is today?
I would just say mindset, because regardless of the people and the things that you come up with, how you handle it, it all goes back to mindset. I was reading something, it was a video I posted in my stories the other day that my mentor sent me about poverty, and how poverty was a mindset. It talked about how you would think that, okay, you can just pray your way out of, this mindset or whatever. And really, you learn that it's a condition from how you were raised and your circumstances and your environment. And I was like, you know what? That's true. Because one of the things that I was noticing this week when I posted on social media, I posted about this development that's happening in Africa. And so people were under the post. They was like, oh my God, y'all are charging American prices in Ghana. This is gentrification. This is too high. This all types of negative comments. Of course, you had people that were like, send me the link. I'm getting on a webinar. I want to know how to invest. But so many negative comments. I said, you know what? They would never, they were saying that these people could not afford these houses. Little did they know, outside of this community that's being built, there is houses that were over that price by like 300,000 into the millions of dollars, but people were just focused on this community. And so one of the things that I thought about was them saying that the locals can't afford this price. I said, but nobody says that about Dubai. When you go to Dubai, them locals can't afford that $300,000 and 500 and a million. They can't afford all of that real estate and all the things that there is to do and invest in Dubai. But you know what? Dubai ain't like, oh, the locals can't afford it, so we're not gonna build it, because they do have a market for it. But also, when it comes to the properties that are the development that are being built over in Africa, little do people know is that a lot of times the developers would take, and I'm not saying this is everybody, because I know everybody is not doing this. I'm not saying that everybody building affordable houses, but sometimes their strategy would be to build something that is a luxury development and then take the money from that luxury development to build the affordable houses for the locals, but they got to have money to be able to build it. And so that could be their strategy. But I noticed how, with mindset, that people think that because it's Africa, even though it's rich in resources, oh, don't build that over there, but Dubai can build it. So it's mindset. That's one of the things that to get from point A to Z all the way, you're gonna have to battle mindset. And I had to battle my mindset going from local to global. And I often say that my body went global before my mind went. My mind got a rude awakening when I went global.
Do you want to talk more about your experience with them when you went global?
So when I went global, the reason why I say that my body went global, because it was like me being a giddy kid, in the market, like, oh, we want to go get some toys. We going down this aisle. I'm going to grab everything off the shelf and I'm going to take these people with me and show them, my Power Ranger. But honey, when I got over to Dubai, Bali for the first time, it was just awakening that, Makeda, you are not an ordinary person. You are not an ordinary host. You are not an ordinary travel agent. You are anointed and appointed by God. You are a chosen vessel to be able to lead the people to their promised land. And so for you to go over here to international territories, it's just not about real estate. It is about bloodlines. It's about breaking generational poverty. It's about breaking generational curses. And when you think about, I always hear often leaders say that the enemy will attack you in the areas where you're supposed to be leading people out of. And so when I went into depression, I had no idea what depression felt like. I heard other people talk about it, but I ain't never had depression. And here I am at 49 years old, having gone through depression. And I'm like, what is this? Like, it was something that just hit me like this. And I'm like, what is this? Like, how I feel sad, not wanting to get out the bed, not want to do nothing, call people back. And I read a post the other day, because a lot of times when you go through things, people would think that you are isolated because of them. And really, the post was like, sometimes you need you, and something about other people needing you, but you need you. So like, you had to pull away because they needed you, but then you needed you more because you didn't have anywhere to pull from, because you're always pouring into other people. And that has always been me and has always been my character. Even today, that I'm still dealing with that, to make sure, like, even when I was running Savvy Chicks in Real Estate, like a charity, and instead of a business, and making sure that I come out of that mindset of that this is not a charity, it is a business, a for-profit business, and that I need to start a charity so that I can have a nonprofit business. But I will soon have Savvy Chicks in Ministry. That is a vision that, like I said, creative. That's one of the visions that God has given me, is Savvy Chicks in Ministry.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That just rings a bell right there. Savvy Chicks in Ministry. Like, that's ooh. When do you look forward to, launching that and birthing that new baby?
Probably third or fourth quarter, because I want to be able to use that to like do ministry work around the world, to do like I just was reading a what do you call that, a declaration, because I have my assistant to create these declarations in Chat GPT. I said, give me some declarations for the month that fits what I'm doing. And so because Chat GPT knows all of my dreams and goals and all that stuff, they start spitting out, my goals and declarations. And one of those was like, I fund churches, I plant wells, I build villages. And so I was like, come on, Chat GPT. And so that's exactly what Savvy Chicks in Ministry will be doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to learn more about that. I might be in the class or two or something.
Come on, girl.
That is so dope. That is so dope. Well, this has been wonderful. Just getting to know you more on a personal and a professional level. I think, again, what you're doing is amazing. Just, taking somebody from point, like you said, point A to point Z, because most people be like from point A to point B, baby. You said from point A to point Z, baby. We going all the way to the finish line. So I just think that's just remarkable. It's you're not gatekeeping. You're bringing more people along, and I feel like if we had more people in different industries bringing people along, because I feel like it's enough for everybody. We have a whole world, so being able to do it globally, like that's just wonderful, and bringing other people along with you is just phenomenal. So I thank you for taking the time to interview with me tonight. It's been great learning more about you, learning more about your business. So I do want to give you the opportunity where you could tell the people where they could come F with you at, where they could come learn more about you, learn more about your business, and also where they could purchase them tickets, y'all. It's on 9 left. It's only 9 left. Y'all got 8 days. It's only 8. So y'all better get y'all tickets. So please feel free to tell them all about that good stuff.
So what Angel has been circulating, and I need to, girl, I have StreamYard. I need to do it like you be doing it, because I just be getting on talking to the people. I think I want to put names on. Hey! So it's Makeda Smith Global, where you can find me, and you can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads, and Facebook. And this is where you can also go and purchase the last 9 tickets to the event that we're going to have on March 8th. But Angel, I want to say thank you so much for inviting me to be a part. I know we tried to do this maybe like 3 times before. It's probably been almost a year that we've been chasing each other, trying to get our schedules together. So I'm so glad that on the last day of Black History Month, as we go into Women's History, we're going to be having our interview. So I think that it's very fitting that it was on the last day.
Yes, and today is a beautiful day for me. Today is my grandmother's birthday. She would have been 91. So just to interview such a beautiful person with a beautiful spirit, a beautiful mind, beautiful face. It's just wonderful. So I was just so happy when I was like, okay, we're gonna do it on this day, final. And you was like, yes. I'm like, yes, we're gonna do it. Like, girl, I was supposed to go get my hair done. My hairstylist, she couldn't do it today. I was like, you know what? I'm still getting on my podcast. We slick this little ponytail back.
It looks good, girl.
Thank you. And I'm still showing up. So I'm just like, it got to be done. It got to be done. More people got to know about this. More people have to know what you're doing, because again, you being obedient, has opened up the door, and for so many other people, blessing. And it's just, again, it's just an honor to watch you do what you're doing. Like, I think we've met at like a different conference, but I think you slipped me an email, a DM about you having an international trip, and you was like, you don't got to be selling real estate to go. And a lot of people think that, a lot of people think like, oh, I'm not doing real estate, so I can't go and be a part of that. But you can, it's all about the experience. It's about learning, and who knows what doors will open just from the experience.
Yeah.
I said, you can't be closed-minded. You can't be closed-minded.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And for those of you that are out there, once you go global, like you don't go back. Like you don't go back once you go global because it expands your mind. It gives you clarity around things that you may have had, questions about. I have a friend, Angel, who just moved to Mexico, and this is her first time going out of the country and getting her passport stamped. And she moved, and she'll be gone for 2 years traveling abroad. And she told me that she has more money left at the end of the day with what she is spending per month than what she was paying here in the United States.
Yeah, you know what? A lady, I don't know her personally or nothing, and I was watching her video, and she was saying how she came to the United States to live here for a little while, and she went back to her homeland, and I want to say her homeland was Africa or somewhere, and she was like, that cycle of going to work, getting your money, then paying all these bills, paying all this, like, she like, no, I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I had to come back. That's why when you were saying the great United States, I wasn't even talking. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about politics. I'm just, well, I guess that is part of politics.
Yeah.
Just the way the country just rolling, like, all your money, your taxes, your this, your that. It's just like, how the saying goes, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like,
yeah, I actually, that's one of the things that I learned too, is traveling abroad, like going to Europe. Like they have, I think get 6 weeks off of work. They take their time when they're off on the weekends. They are off. They're not trying to be on a call. Like how we like, okay, yeah, I'll just call me. I'll answer. No, they're not doing none of that. I remember going to Greece when they said the restaurant was closed. The restaurant was closed. When they said they weren't taking any phone calls, they're not taking any phone calls. And even over in Ghana, Sunday is sacred for them. They like, okay, no, we're not showing any properties on Sunday. We go to church.
I know that's right. People here, they don't even believe. Yeah. Don't even go to church. The church used to be filled up. Now the church is filled up on Easter and Mother's Day.
Yeah. Yep.
We gotta get people back into the churches.
People that used to stand at home, they didn't want to go back to work. When they called them back to work, they was like, "No, we like this remote thing."
Right. Don't get me wrong. I'm okay with the remote from working, but I can't even work. I can't even work remote. I can't get nobody no medicine through the phone. Like, here, take this.
Right.
No, so look, I don't have a choice. I don't even have that option. I wish.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. Well, it's great to again learn from you, and thank you for taking the time on this Friday. And it was a great, beautiful day outside today in Chicago.
It was windy though.
It was. I had on my little hat. Had I not had this ponytail through it, that little hat would have blew away. My auntie was like, "Well, you see where we got the name from, the Windy City." I'm like, "Yes, indeed."
Yeah.
But other than that, it was beautiful. Just thank you for taking the time to spend your Friday with me and coming up on the show. And was there anything else that you wanted to let the audience know before we part?
No, I do have free content. If you follow me on Instagram and click the link in my bio, I do have free content in my bio for you to be able to download ebooks about branding and marketing. You can do that as well. And just learning about dual citizenship, we do have that content too. So yeah, that's all.
All right, y'all heard it here now. Go to her Facebook page, get the free ebooks, learn some information, And let me ask you this, with those free ebooks, when you're talking about branding and marketing, is it more so for investment, or can you use it on any type of business?
Any type of brand.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go on there and get my little free book too.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm definitely gonna be tapping into that. So thank you again. I wish you much success on your event on Saturday. And depending on, again, I'm gonna look to see what time it is and everything like that. I leave that day at 7:50 on a flight to Miami, but hopefully I could probably try to swing by and just peek my head in and say hi. So I wish you the best with that. Safe travels, because I know you're gonna be going here and there and everywhere, because baby, you global.
Thank you, girl.
Just success, and thank you for coming on the show tonight.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Angel. I truly appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. You have a blessed night, okay?
You too. All right, bye.
Okay, guys. So That wraps up another episode of the Fuck With Me Fridays, the last podcast, where I interview dope individuals who are big in their faith, a force to be reckoned with, unique in their craft, creative, and knocking down barriers every day. So if you know somebody who dope and want to hop on the podcast, tell them to hit me up. Jump in my inbox, DM me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm on all that. So holla at your girl. Holla at your girl. And if you haven't shopped the luxurious Bellarine Cosmetics, what is you doing? Tap into my brand. Everything is the name, Bellarine Cosmetics. I offer luxury cosmetic products that are inscripted with uplifting scriptures and affirmations, because I want to help people grow their faith while enhancing their beauty. And what better way to do that than having luxury cosmetic products that are inscripted with faith and affirmations, because the makeup only make us beautiful in the sense. You have to have your inside just as beautiful as your outside, okay? So if you ain't tapping into what God has for you and what God wants for you and just building a relationship with him and tapping into his word, like, what are you doing? Okay, so here at Bellarine, we want to help you do that. So please, please, please check out our website. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I got kicked off TikTok, but I'm appealing that because they said I wasn't following the rules, but I don't even know nothing about TikTok. Well, we're going to be back on TikTok too. So again, shop the brand, Bellarine Cosmetics. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. Bye. I know y'all missed me because I missed y'all, but I've been working, but I'm back. I'm back. Bye, guys.
Asking questions, yeah, I'm hitting every angle. Spill your heart out like you talking to an angel. Trying to spark something new. I got something for you. Is you fucking with me? Tell me all of the things that you want the whole world to know. Tell me all your ideas. Let go all of your fears. Kick your feet up and get comfortable. Tune in my way. Don't fuck with me Friday.
And y'all, I know I said I was gone, but as I'm sitting here listening to this song, it just got me in the groove. Like, shout out to Betty, baby, for the intro. Shout out to Betty. Let's hear that again, and I'm going for real this time.
Asking questions, yeah, I'm hitting every angle. Spill your heart out like you talking to an angel. Trying to spark something new. I got something for you. You fucking with me? Tell me all of the things that you want the whole world to know. Tell me all your ideas. Let go all of your fears. Kick your feet up and get comfortable. Tune in my way. Don't fuck with me Friday. Yeah. Ain't you fucking with me?
This is a hit. Y'all, this intro song go hard. Super hard. So, Betty, I love you. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.